seconds out in a second. Okay, so we're live. There's Leah Lynn Chides here. Did you just blow a kiss? We have very serious stories.
30 seconds.
But I'm glad you blew a kiss. Sorry. Hi, everyone. Okay, I got it.
It's allowed.
It's allowed. That's Leah.
Finding an open DMV can be harder than you think in rural Wisconsin. Coming up tonight, we'll explain how that's affecting people who need an ID to vote.
Plus, a cold case solved nearly 4 years after a Wisconsin woman goes missing. But first at 10, battling in a war overseas paled in comparison to the fight one man faced right here at home. Welcome to News 3 at 10, everyone. I'm Michelle Lee. Eric's off tonight. Combat veterans, they know better than most how life can change in an instant. What they might not expect is to come home and face a greater challenge to their survival than on the battlefield. Tonight, only News 3's Dave DeLozier shares with us a Wisconsin veteran's story of survival.
It was scary.
Life, who lives and who dies, sometimes comes down to who is where and when.
Not too many couples deploy together, and we went together. It was our first year of marriage, our honeymoon in Iraq. It's tough.
It was 2006 southern Iraq, and during enemy shelling, life is anything but a guarantee.
All you can hear is the sound of the ground cracking and not knowing where it's going to fall on you. And at that point, I think it hits you that you know somebody's trying to kill you.
Jessica and Keith McCarter survived that year in Iraq and came home to Wisconsin.
Keith came back very fit.
They quickly learned that far from the battlefield, life still carries no guarantees.
He just got very tired.
His challenges in Iraq probably paled to the comparison of the challenge he had when he got back.
At the age of 25, the veteran, the husband and father of 3, is diagnosed with heart failure.
He's 25 years old, and he was dying.
And he is rapidly running out of options.
Keith has a very compelling story. The most important part of his story is that he's a young man that should have a long life to live. And without a new heart, he wasn't looking at that possibility.
On a heart transplant list, waiting to live or waiting to die. Doctors would implant a ventricular assist device to keep his heart beating and buy him time. And then comes a complication.
Keith was on so many medications that one of his medications had affected his thyroid, and he started packing on the pounds.
Keith gained more than 100 pounds, rising to 330 pounds, which makes him ineligible for a heart transplant.
I see people coming to me that are desperate at some level. Keith was desperate to live.
If life does come down to who is where and when, this operating room and this moment would decide. Dr. Michael Guerin, a bariatric surgeon at UW Health, is Keith's one and only chance. The bariatric surgery, if it works, would allow Keith to lose the weight and again go back on the heart transplant list.
He really didn't have a lot of options. He could live with the ventricular assist device as long as it would last. But if he couldn't get a new heart at his young age, that essentially would have been the end of his life.
The surgery complete, only time would tell. Remember, Keith started out at 330 pounds, but within 90 days.
This morning I weighed 207.
It allows Keith to go back on the heart transplant list until the biggest surprise of all.
We're able to take him off the list.
Something that very rarely happens. The health of Keith's heart came back, and with it, his chance at life.
I've gotten everything pretty much back. I'm able to travel again, able to go swimming, do stuff with my kids that I couldn't do before. There you go. Oh, turn back.
And when you have been where they have been, you know what this means.
I don't get upset over the small things.
And you don't forget the big things.
Good, how are you?
Like how this all happened and who you need to say thank you to.
I'd like to admit that I didn't have tears welling up in my eyes. You know, again, for all my patients, it's a special thing to see their lives transform for the better. Keith, given his history, given his age, I can't tell you that I've had a more gratifying patient interaction in my entire career.
Two lives that intersected at a moment when life really did come down to who was where and when.
It is absolutely why I do what I do.
At UW Hospital, this is Dave Delosier, WISC News 3.
Unbelievable. Well, doctors, listen to this, are uncertain what caused Keith McCarter's heart to fail him, and equally uncertain why it is healing. Keith knows there is a chance he could again need to go back on the transplant list at some time in the future, but he and his family are taking it one day at a time and not taking any of them for granted. Now, Dave learned about this story through a news tip, so if you have a story that you think we should tell people about, go to channel3000.com and click on News Tips. Breaking late tonight, the U.S. military has started airstrikes against ISIS in Syria. It is the first strikes in that country since President Barack Obama announced he will expand those strikes beyond Iraq. The Pentagon said via Twitter tonight partner nations also joined in the strikes. Since the operation was still happening, no other details could be released tonight. Tomorrow, we know the Veterans Affairs Hospital in Madison will hold a town hall to address complaints and questions. Records show nearly 700 complaints over the last 2 years have been about getting health care in a timely manner. Veterans and their families can share any frustrations tomorrow with the VA.
Our veterans have earned and expect from us real high quality care, and we want to make sure that we're giving them what they expect from us and what they've earned from their country.
Now, that meeting starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow in the VA Hospital's auditorium. That's located near UW Hospital near University Avenue. In tonight's Campaign 2014 coverage, a liberal group files a brief with a federal appeals court over voter ID. News 3's Leah Lynchai joins us with their argument and what it has to do with DMVs, Leah.
Michelle, the brief was filed by One Wisconsin Institute, and it alleges that residents here in Wisconsin can't easily obtain a voter ID, especially those who live in a rural area. If you're looking to get your hands on a driver's license or voter ID here in Monroe, you have two options, Mondays or Wednesdays, the only two times the city's DMV is open. One Wisconsin Institute says just weeks before Election Day, that's a problem.
There are a couple places where people, may only be able to have one or two chances before the election to be able to get the IDs they need to participate in our democracy.
At a Monroe office, they may deal with 40 to 50 customers a day.
The Monroe DMV is open 20 hours a week, the minimum requirement for all of Wisconsin's DMV offices following 2012's voter ID law. DMV directors say that's more than enough for a rural office with slow traffic.
Those offices are not high volume offices, 20, 25 applications a day. So even if you doubled that, you wouldn't be looking at a whole lot.
People aren't able to, if they're working full time, be able to get the photo ID. So that's a big impediment.
One Wisconsin says less access to the DMV translates into less access to the polls.
We have had people who reached out to us to say, I'm concerned whether or not, I'm going to be able to go and get my ID because of the fact that, they work, they live in a place that doesn't have the sort of ID hours that are necessary.
There hasn't been any significant bump in the number of ID cards. If there is, we feel like we're prepared to handle it.
Altogether, the DMV says it's issued about 1,000 ID cards to Wisconsin residents in the past week. And Michelle, in Monroe, workers say they've issued about 10 to 20.
All right, something we will keep our eyes on, especially weeks before the election.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Leah. Meanwhile, several big names coming to Wisconsin in the name of campaigning. First Lady Michelle Obama will be in Milwaukee this Monday for a Mary Burke campaign event. And we also know New Jersey Governor Chris Christie will be in Hudson campaigning for Governor Scott Walker. No details on either appearance have yet come out. A woman disappears in 2010, and today Wausau police say they have found her body. Stephanie Lowe went missing nearly 4 years ago. Police say Christopher Torgerson led detectives to a national park last week and led them to a grave where her remains were found. Police say a drug deal gone bad appears to have led to Lowe's murder.
According to what Torgerson told others, Stephanie fought him, and he strangled her and stabbed her in the neck area with a knife from Stephanie's apartment.
Police have handed this case to the state. No charges have been filed, but they are expected soon. After a 2-year investigation, a husband and wife in court accused of running a prostitution business. The Beaver Dam couple charged with felonies in Dodge County Court. Debbie Walters charged with more than 30 counts of prostitution, and Daniel Walters charged with helping run the business. 10 others also in court accused of being customers. Some agreed to plea deals and must pay at least $1,700 in fines. A father is in serious condition tonight after his 11-year-old son mistook him for a turkey on a hunting trip. It happened yesterday outside of Wausau. Authorities say the father was hit in the upper area in his chest. The DNR is investigating. And at the Capitol today, more than 400 pairs of shoes lined its steps. Wisconsin Anti-Violence Effort, or WAVE for short, is starting its Hearts and Souls tour. The group says each pair represents a life lost to gun violence in Wisconsin, and says on average 467 people die from gun violence every year. That group will be stopping all around the state during this week. Coming up, a key detour to share for Beltline drivers. Plus, there is a grand vision for one of Madison's iconic features. We'll share that after Gary's forecast.
Looks like another cool night in store for us. Tomorrow morning, we'll be down to 43 degrees with mostly clear skies. But expect sunny skies tomorrow and a pleasant day with a high of 71. We'll have your full forecast coming up in a few minutes.
You're watching Eric Franke and Michelle Lee. Meteorologist Gary Canalti. And Jay Wilson with sports. This is News 3 at 10.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Michelle.
How was Under the Dome?
Ridiculous. Started off kind of boring, but then Big Jim went crazy, and things got interesting from there.
You know that shot in Wilmington, North Carolina, right? Where Linda lives.
I was thinking yeah, and so was Revolution.
Yeah? Is Revolution still on? I don't know.
No, it got canceled.
Do you think...
I posted the link today.
They screwed up?
It's for 3 days.
What is it?
The hangout. Did you want that to work tonight?
Oh, yeah.
It's for the 30th.
Whoops, I don't know what happened. Oopsie. Did Stormy leave? Yeah, looks like it.
He left sometime before I got here, and then Hannah left as soon as I got in here.
He was having some... Hannah's got to go. It's her end of her work shift.
It's on Snap.
Yeah.
Look at Gary. Look, he's in front of the move. Whoa, really? That's surprising me.
That's the Earth.
That's surprising to me, I mean.
That's the Earth.
Oh, that's the Earth. Well, it was... Oh, Gary was standing in front of the Earth, and I thought that was the moon. I'm so smart.
We live on the Earth.
Well, you gotta look at it close enough.
We all live on the moon.
Everyone say hi to Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Bye,
Gary.
So, anyway, yeah, I'm not very smart sometimes. I am not a smart man, Jenny, but I know what love is. In the movie.
Peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Like peas and carrots. I can't do that voice. This is not a very flattering shot of me. I don't not to be weird. So Gary says we are under high pressure.
Would you like me to just talk to that? Does that mean that it's going to be what you guys call warm?
Yeah, it's going to be clear and warm.
What's warm?
Gary said, would you like me to just talk to them?
It will be clear and cool at night, but it'll be sunny and mild during the day.
Did you hear that?
Same thing's going on in Dallas, actually.
Yes.
But then again, what's mild there?
What's mild mean?
Mild means temperatures in the 70s. Average high is about 68.
Temperatures in the 70s, average 60. Ah, you're jealous.
You're making me jealous.
I know.
It's going to be mid-90s all week. No worries.
But then cold is like somewhere under 0.
Oh, yeah, you guys are such so awesome. With mild weather and your fancy clear skies.
Overnight travelers, watch out for this week. The northbound interstate exit onto the West Belt line is shut down overnight through Thursday, so drivers will have to go up to Highway 30 and use Highway 51 to get back on the Belt line this week. I think that, does that apply to us maybe if we're going home?
Might apply to you.
I'm like, where am I? What day is it?
Yeah.
Beautiful day today, Gary.
And
great
tomorrow
job.
should be nice, and it should be nice on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. That's the kind of forecast you like to hear.
Yeah.
And it's going to stick around for a while. Now today is actually 9:29 p.m. was the when fall officially arrived. And if you could take a look at the Earth from right over the equator, this is from the Goddard Space Flight Center. This is what the Earth would look like right with the sun over the camera right over the equator on today, right when you go from daylight to darkness. And if you time-lapse this, if you took the same picture every day for a year, this is what you would see. As we head into the winter, notice the North Pole stays in dark all the time. The more direct rays of the sun are in the southern hemisphere, and the South Pole stays in sunlight 24 hours a day. Then we get back to the first day of spring, and again, the line almost straight up and down where we have equal amounts of daylight and darkness. And then as we head into the summer, just the opposite happens. We shift back toward the north. The North Pole now stays underneath sunlight 24 hours a day. The South Pole, darkness 24 hours a day. And then we go back to the first day of fall for the following year. So kind of an interesting perspective, gives you a little bit of an idea what the sun looks like, at least in relation to the Earth. High temperature today with plenty of sunshine, 70 degrees. The low, a chilly 38. Notice the sunrise and sunset, pretty close to 12 hours of sunlight and darkness, a little over that. The reason we actually don't have exactly 12 hours of sunlight is because the atmosphere actually bends the sun's rays. So when we see the top of the sun at sunset, it's actually slightly below the horizon. So it's usually a couple of days after the first day of fall that we see exactly 12 hours of sunlight and darkness. Clear skies, 52 right now, the air calm, dew point temperature in the upper 40s, so it won't be quite as cold as last night. Jet stream bulging to the north, out to the west of us, still coming in from the northwest here, bringing in cooler air, at least during the nighttime hours, but as we zoom into the Midwest, a few showers out to the west of us, but this high pressure system will keep our weather quiet. Temperatures, pretty comfortable, 50s and 60s. The cooler air starting to shift off to the east, probably be in the mid to upper 40s for the overnight hours. Forecast for tonight calls for clear skies, maybe a little patchy fog toward morning, low at 43. Tomorrow, another great day. Sunny skies, pleasant, high temperature 71 degrees. Pinpoint City forecast, 72 for a high tomorrow, 71 in Dodgeville, 71 in Richland Center with plenty of sunshine. Partly sunny on Wednesday, up to 76 in Platteville, and 76 for the high in Poinnette. North and east of Madison, lots of sunshine for tomorrow. High 71 in Monona, 71 in Reedsburg, and then partly sunny, a little warmer for Wednesday with a high of 76 in Beaver Dam, up to 78 in Jefferson. 7-day forecast. One thing you don't see on there is rain. Partly sunny to mostly sunny skies that whole 7-day period. Highs mid to upper 70s beginning tomorrow, or beginning Wednesday and lasting into early next week. Tonight's backyard weather photo from John and Kathy Sohnlein of Janesville. A very pretty backyard. They were enjoying it there. They had somebody, one of the pictures, having some wine out on the patio. 73 for a high tomorrow in Janesville. I expect a pleasantly mild day. Send us your backyard pictures to backyard@channel3000.com.
Looks great, Gary, and people online are applauding your forecast.
Everybody should be.
Everyone is. Round of applause. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
There's a new vision when it comes to downtown Madison. The group Madison Design Professionals presented a plan to turn part of John Nolan Drive into a tunnel by Monona Terrace and bring more green space to the area, plus connect the Capitol Square more easily with the lake shoreline.
I think this is the time to think big. It's an opportunity that has been on the radar screen for 100 years, starting with John Nolan, that we need to connect our downtown to the lakefront.
Right now, this plan was only presented at a meeting hosted by Capitol Neighborhoods. You can learn more about their vision at channel3000.com. Coming up, we're on your side with the true cost of an Apple iPhone. Plus, UW Whitewater comes clean on its recruiting practices. That's next at 10.
Mike McCarthy tries to explain again just what went wrong in Detroit yesterday. We'll hear from the head coach in sports.
News.
How are we supposed to know that it's sponsored by McDonald's?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. You guys, there's something, so you can still see the live stream because my computer.
Yes, we're watching a furniture commercial right now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some lady laying on the couch.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I stand on a box or am I okay?
Do you have to stand on the box if Eric's not there?
Not usually, but sometimes I have to stand on a box, like if something is, if my screen, did you get the screen grab my face?
Nothing. I didn't do anything, I swear.
Sometimes I do a box if I'm like by a monitor because I look like a shrimp.
They just got an extreme close-up of your face.
Yeah, because I have to
we can
zoom
see
in
your
on my face.
blackheads and everything.
I didn't do anything, I
You
swear.
guys, my blackheads. I don't.
Hey, Nick's the one that said that, not me. I'm just here to press buttons. That's what my technician does.
Which reminds
Whoa,
me, if
yeah.
you do have a blackhead, you know what you do? You get an extractor. Have you ever seen the extractors?
Oh God, no! Those make me break out worse than anything.
No, they don't. They look like a crochet needle, and then they look like a little hook, and then you put them on your nose, and then the stuff comes out. They use it at spas.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
I
more of an
can't do
objector
that.
doing that
No,
to my
I
head.
insist. I can't do that.
No, those blackhead removal things.
Did you guys, by chance, see my Instagram picture today of me in a 1965 Mustang? Did you see that?
No.
Well, thanks for not looking.
You're welcome.
I don't have Instagram installed. So.
I ran out of sunset pictures, so I don't have anything to put on Instagram now. Nobody wants to see my face.
Oh, you poor baby.
Maybe people want to see your didn't you have a bird's nest a while back?
I did, but my mama bird died, so
You know what you could do now?
My barbecue girl,
You
she
can do a
died.
series of selfies. You can be that guy.
I bet we're really close. Just FYI.
1:45 seconds.
What?
45 out.
Oh, in case you wanted to know, Eric Franke's dog goes back to normal. Okay, we're 30 seconds away.
Oh, Stacy just mentioned something to us.
What'd she say?
Oh, she said we'd love to hop in, but the link is not working.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh, we have to.
Hold on,
Top
mute
off.
me, guys.
So doable. Espresso finish bed, just $1.99. Only at Slumberland.
UW-Whitewater has admitted to numerous recruiting violations. Now it waits to hear if it will be disciplined by the NCAA and the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. In a 7-page report to Whitewater's chancellor, it highlights examples where wrestling recruits were given improper travel, lodging, and food benefits. The investigation was sparked by sexual assault allegations that involved a recruit in April. Police are still investigating that case. Meanwhile, the school tells News 3 the report's recommendations to change the recruiting process have been implemented. Okay, Paula Deen is orchestrating a comeback. The former Food Network star just bought all of her old shows, and now those episodes will be featured on her own online channel. Deen will launch it on Wednesday, so fans will pay $8 to $10 a month to get her broadcasts and recipes. If you remember, she was let go from Food Network after admitting in a deposition that she used a racial slur. If you're allergic to peanuts, listen up. Wisconsin among many states under a recall over M&Ms. The candy company says it mistakenly packaged peanut butter M&Ms under the regular milk chocolate label. It only affects movie theater size boxes, though. And Apple reports a huge weekend in new phone sales. Apple sold more than 10 million new iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Pluses. Now that beats last year's record of 9 million phones sold when the iPhone 5 came out. The iPhone 6 retails for $649. A study from CNN broke it down. It found the screen cost $41.50, the battery $350, the camera $16.50, and the logic board was $126. So with a few more costs added in, it cost $226 to build an iPhone 6. Melvin Gordon gets a big award and dazzles his coach and teammates. That story coming up in sports.
I'm Susan. It's crazy that it cost $226 to build a phone that's not up to date even.
And then they charge you $600 for it. That's kind of
$900.
That's what makes it fun, though, right? when you can drop.
Did you see? I was actually took a picture of the Apple store in Madison over the weekend.
Don't these people have jobs?
No.
Yeah.
If
of course
these
they're
people
buying
had
that phone.
jobs, they'd be spending their hard-earned money on, up-to-date technology like a Nexus 5.
Yeah,
Which
running Android.
Yeah, that 2-year-old, that year-old phone that beats a brand new phone that has technology from 2 years ago.
Okay, it's 2014, and Apple's sales pitch is, holy crap, we have NFC. Like, NFC's a new thing.
Oh my, wow. Let stop the presses and do breaking news everywhere.
I know, NFC. I mean, well, one feature on my phone that I've never, ever used for anything.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
What did you think of that anchor from Alaska who quit on air on live TV, said she was the founder of some marijuana group, and then said F it and walked off set?
I wouldn't do it, but good for her.
You think it's good for her?
Well, if it makes her happy. I mean, it's certainly getting her a lot of fame right now, and if that's what she wanted, then.
What about the credibility of the station?
I don't think the station had anything to do with it. I think she could have handled it in a classier manner, but she made it distinctly hers, and good for her.
Does it matter to you that it's an election year, and that she possibly could have swayed people to vote a certain way?
She could have.
Do you think that's her job as a journalist to do that?
No.
Oh, Corey's back. Okay, so you guys will run sports for me, right? I got to run Jay's prompter, so I need to be.
Yeah, I'm lightning fast. You know that.
You guys are lightning fast. We got 30 seconds till we hit sports.
See, and I made it back.
Well, if you want, there's a good discussion going on.
There's what I can't hear you over, Corey.
Is that better?
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, Corey. All right,
Sorry
I gotta.
And now, News 3 Sports.
Two ways to look at the Packers start. Is your glass half empty or half full? Are you worried they're only 1-2 after 3 games, or are you saying, hey, it's only 3 games? Relax. In either case, Packer fans haven't liked what they've seen so far after the 19-7 loss at Detroit yesterday. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked much like Aaron Rodgers because the entire offense has been unproductive. Part of it is Rodgers and his receivers don't seem to click. But an even bigger issue is the running game. If you can't run the football, oftentimes you don't pass it very well either. In any case, Mike McCarthy got all dressed up to explain how the Packers might get it all worked out.
Obviously, a frustrating game for us offensively. We've made our corrections. This is what Mondays are for, win or lose. You spend the whole time going through each and every play and grading it. Make sure you invest in the process and get ready for as we move on to Chicago. We have an outstanding quarterback, and the focus on our offense is always about making the quarterback successful. That approach will never change, and it starts with a healthy run game.
The Packers will have another road game this Sunday at Soldier Field in Chicago, and those Bears are trying to get to 2-1 tonight. They're leading the Jets on Monday Night Football 27-19, fourth quarter. Jay Cutler has 2 passes. Again, the Packers are at the Bears next Sunday. Badger running back Melvin Gordon is the Big Ten's co-offensive player of the week. Gordon was spectacular in Wisconsin's 68-17 win over Bowling Green Saturday at Camp Randall. He rushed for 253 yards and a school record-tying 5 touchdowns. Quarterback Tanner McAvoy has a different perspective on Gordon these days. Last year, McAvoy was trying to get Gordon in practice. This year, McAvoy's giving the ball to Gordon and watching what happens.
I mean, I'm starting to get more and more used to it. I mean, last year he did some things, obviously, but I was trying to play defense. But this year, it's like from that view, I mean, every now and then you're just like, oh, all right, that's a little impressive. I'm impressed by that one. I haven't seen that yet.
I've loved the way Melvin's ran the ball all year long. I didn't see him
not hitting it downhill or not running effectively. It does my heart good that kid had that opportunity to have that game, because it was, if you could have seen his eyes and the smile on his face as he was coming off the field, it was like, that's why I came back for my junior year.
The Badgers' Big Ten football opener at Northwestern a week from Saturday will be a 2:30 kickoff in Evanston. That game will be televised on ESPN. Our Prep Mania high school football game of the week is DeForest at Mount Horeb Barneveld. We're live at 7 on TVW and Channel3000.com Friday night. The Brewers don't play tonight. They'll try to hang on to their fading playoff hopes when they open a 3-game series at Cincinnati tomorrow night. According to some formula that computes these sort of things, the Brewers are said to have less than a 1% chance of still making the playoffs. And those percentages shrunk again tonight. That's because the Pittsburgh Pirates won in Atlanta. Andrew McCutcheon's homer, the only run of the game, another 1-0 Pittsburgh win. So the Pirates now lead the Brewers by 5 games with 6 to play for that final wild card spot. Actually, the Pirates moved a half game ahead of the Giants for the 2 wild card spots, but the Brewers still trail San Francisco by 4.5 with 6 to play. So any mathematical method you use, 2 chances, slim and none.
Yeah, but you're saying there's still a chance.
Oh my gosh, are you optimistic?
No, I was just repeating a movie.
You see rainbows and everything, don't you? Well, that's great. I gotta hope.
Yeah, gotta hope, I guess. Thanks, Jake.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll be right back.
How I would describe that.
Anyone remember that? 50 seconds. Okay. Anyone remember that movie?
Please be specific.
When I said, so you're saying there's a chance. Am I too old for that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, good Lord.
Sorry.
There's no chance.
There's no chance.
I'm gonna go with that. There's no chance.
It was like on Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay.
And at the end, Jim Carrey's character asks, I forget the girl's name, if there was a chance that they could go out. And she said, 1 in 1 million. And he said, so you're saying there's a chance. It's a classic movie, guys.
I watched it, but I have to rewatch it.
You've all disappointed me.
That's kind of like what a Cub fan.
Poor Gary's a Cub fan, so he's had a rough season too. But he's going to be gone Wednesday, so we can go see the Cubs play. Is that your last game of the season? It's his last game of the season.
The A's aren't doing too good either, but it's beautiful.
Plus, I'm probably going by myself. Nobody else.
They keep calling them the Amazing A's, but
drive down there by myself, watch the Cubs for the last game of the season. Sit out there by myself, just relax.
It'll be nice. Maybe you'll get interviewed. Remember, was it last season or was it this season you were interviewed?
Interviewed.
Were you in the paper?
Oh, they just took a picture. It was opening day this year.
Oh, was it opening day? Okay, that was great.
J. Adam Wainwright hit 20 wins. So both 20-game winners won their 20th game against the Cubs.
Did he get the shutout?
I didn't see the final. It was 7-0.
You guys, we have a good kicker. Do you remember what a kicker is?
Yes, I do.
Well,
I think he talked about that a couple of days ago, actually.
What, the kicker?
You going Wednesday?
Yeah.
You can't trick me, Michelle. I'm too smart for that.
Uh-oh. You have 10 seconds. Here we go.
We have to find you some funny animal videos.
Okay, check out these new fall monsters. Pretty cool. A farmer in Los Angeles is growing these pumpkin steins 100% naturally and organically. So that's right. Isn't that amazing? They look just like Frankenstein. Tony has spent years perfecting these things. He grows them in molds, and this is the first year they've actually grown right. He's selling them all around the world for $75 to $125 a piece.
And here's a piece of trivia. The guy who trained me on grill at McDonald's when I was 16 years old is a master pumpkin carver in Los Angeles.
No way.
He's been on CBS this morning.
So they should get together and do something.
Then it would save him from having to carve the pumpkins. How about
That's so cool. That's really neat. All right, well, it's a little warm if you want to go to a pumpkin patch or anything here.
71 degrees. I don't know. I'd call it pretty nice.
Well, it's nice, of course.
Yeah, it should be in the upper 60s, but there is the 7-day forecast. Look for highs, lower 70s tomorrow, mid 70s on Wednesday, right into the weekend. Maybe close to 80 Saturday and 76 on Sunday. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that forecast.
No complaints. It looks great. Now, the Brewers and the Cubs and the Packers. A lot of complaining. Good night, guys.
Thank
you. Yeah, it's so cool.
He taught a quarter pounder drill when I was 16 years old, and he is a master pumpkin carver.
How do you get to that level? I mean, that's a pretty...
You should see some of the pumpkins that he carves.
Well, you know, we have square watermelons, too.
But I mean, he's been like on KTLA.
Oh,
and
really?
They had him in the morning show carving pumpkins.
That's so
I'm
cool.
sure he'll probably do something live. I'll post the video for you.
We have, there's a girl who hangs out on Google from there, so we kind of need her if she had him on.
The other guy who taught me grill is a laser dentist in Whitefish.
That's kind of an eclectic group. Oh, gosh. Hey, you guys are quiet. Is Linda there, or did she peace out?
She's here in spirit.
She was there, but having to do other things. So,
Oh, you're cute. I'll be back Wednesday.
Wait, do you have tomorrow off?
No, we work out at night, and so I didn't work out all last week because I had a friend in town, and then this week I have to go home at a decent hour. I've got to wrap it up here in like 10 minutes because it's my anniversary at midnight, and so I want to hang out with Jen before he goes to bed. And then tomorrow I'm going to go home early too. So not early, but not stay till 11:30 like I normally do.
Yeah.
My late? What thingy? Okay. Oh, shoot. Thank you. I knew that thing. So, here's my question.
Here's my answer.
Did you guys have a good Monday or what? Is Corey still in there? Did he leave?
He is, but every time he turns his mic on, it's just white noise. So.
Oh, shoot. Corey, did anything happen in your neck of the woods today? Corey's in Madison.
I can only see the corner of his head.
Oh, no. He can put it in the chat if he wants.
I see his door. I see his hand. I can't hear him. It's weird.
He's waving at us.
Hi.
Nice Facebook message, by the way, Nick. That I would never do.
You're welcome.
So
Anytime.
anyway, so I was hoping someone on Google Plus would come to my rescue because all these people started bashing local news pretty bad, and I mean they're entitled to that, but they were like, local news is so
Local.
so biased, and I was like, I think you're getting it. Everyone always gets local news confused with like the cable infotainment kind of stuff, not so much.
It's like when people call like local Fox News, and therefore they are evil.
Yeah, I
love
know.
that argument.
To me, it's always interesting because, I think it's valid to say that the way we consume news is much different. I don't watch news the way I used to watch news when I was like 5 years ago, but I still really think it's important and understand the significance of it. Some people don't. Some people just hate. Hate is gonna hate, I guess. So I don't know.
Yep.
So it kind of bummed me out, but I was like, where are my peeps? I need you to come to my rescue.
I gave Stacy a corrected link, and she still didn't make it in.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. We're going to be here all week, so, whatever. I'm trying to get to the point where we have a solid week of Hangouts. So we still haven't had a solid week of Hangouts yet. Though it's hard for me to hang out on Fridays because it gets really dark here. Like everyone leaves leaves Friday night, and I don't like staying in the building by myself.
Ooh.
So I don't like hanging out super long because
We don't want you staying in the building by yourself.
Well, that's kind of creepy because sometimes we have different. We rent out the building to different people, so it's not just like Channel 3 people. Like there are people in other businesses who work here. So I just get like sometimes I don't recognize people in the building, and we had someone 2 weeks ago, like at the fence line, and they were like trying to get in our gated fence, and that freaked me out because I was like, if I was here by myself, I wouldn't know what to do. So I don't like being by myself.
Did you hear anything more about that guy? Like if he was deranged or?
No, I didn't follow up on it. I guess I probably should have, but I was like, he's just a kid. I mean, he was only like 21 or 23, so I'm hoping that he wasn't like, too dangerous. Not that a 23-year-old can't be dangerous, but I just was thinking. Yeah, look at Anthony. He's dangerous.
You heard nothing, you saw nothing, so there. That's my story. I didn't do it.
Or else.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's the thing. Like, I just kind of get creeped out by being by myself. So on Fridays, I try to make it short, and then now all the girls are working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But this week, I'm trying to get home because I need to see Jim, and that's all. But Linda, I want to come to your neck of the woods, like, in a couple months, I think.
Really?
I want to because, do you remember Veronica Macias?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She lived with me for a while in my apartment, like at my condo that you came to. Mm-hmm. And so she is having a baby in October. Aww. Here's what's crazy, and I'm just going to say this about Veronica. She went from, like, dating to not dating to, like, moving across the country and, like, got married and had a baby, like, all within, like, a year and a half. I was like, what? What? How did this happen? Like, she just, like, totally, had major life changes, like, in probably 2 years. In 2 years.
So now she's back here?
She works in Charleston. Oh. So I was thinking about going and seeing her and then, making my way up to Wilmington. Actually, we're going to send a news crew to Charleston probably next week.
Well,
it's not me, though.
Then you would have to pay for Charleston.
I know. But it has to do with, like, our 911 system, so it's like an investigative piece. We send a lot of people to a lot of places. Yeah, we send people to a lot of places, which is really cool, but I usually don't go.
Let me ask you a question. Since I am so geographically challenged, where is Madison in relation to Buffalo, New York?
West of there?
Do you mean like just like on a latitude line or something?
Well, I mean, is it a long distance?
Yeah, because Madison's like in the Midwest. So let me look. I can only imagine that's like a 20-hour drive or something.
Okay.
Let me look. Are you going to Buffalo?
No, but my brother's working in Elmira, which is below Buffalo. I mean, I just wondered.
Linda, you are so cute.
Sure I am.
You are, because I was thinking like, oh my God, it's the 20. I'm geographically challenged too, because it's only an 11-hour drive, so it's not bad. That's not like 20 hours like I thought it was.
Across I-80, of course.
So it's only 600, but it's like basically the same. That's why I said it's basically like the same latitude line. So. Like I'm looking at the map, and it's literally like it's like side by side, but it's but you gotta cross like the lakes and stuff. So if you fly, it's only like 3-hour flight. But if you drive, you gotta go like down south and around the lakes, and then hit Buffalo.
Well, he has to fly to Detroit in order to get to Atlanta.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Because the company he's working for Delta Global.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the planes go. But I was really thinking about weather-wise, because he does not like cold weather, and I know he's going to be cold.
Oh yeah.
Well, anything that's even smacks of near Buffalo.
But you know what they say? They say up here, they say there's like really no such thing as cold wet, like bad weather. It's just bad gear. So he needs good clothes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which I would honestly, I'll tell you something. That's really true because like, I mean, the winter was really long last year, so that was kind of depressing. Honestly, like it was just so cloudy and like gray for like a long time. But the weather itself, like if you have snow boots and like a good down coat and maybe some long johns and some wool socks and some gloves, you're pretty set.
Well, I remember a remark that you made last year. You said you can only get so cold.
Mm-hmm.
You said there's you can only get so cold, and I've told a lot of people that. I have quoted you.
Yeah, because you know what I mean. What's the difference between 10 degrees and -10?
Yeah,
there's no,
Yeah,
you know.
That's how I feel about 95 plus.
Yeah, when people are like, it's so humid, you know, and it's like, well, if it's like 95 or 105, there's no difference, you know. So.
Nope, not here. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. You might as well make it 120. I'm not leaving my house.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the one thing, you know, so like if in a perfect world, right, like if I had an unlimited amount of money and, you know, I had my way of things, and maybe I will, like, if I could live small, you know, eventually, what I think would be really nice is to live in Wisconsin in the summers and live in North Carolina in the winter.
What's the summers like there in Madison?
Awesome.
Is it humid?
No. Like
Okay.
some people will tell you that it's some people will say like around here they'll be like, oh, it's so humid this week, but they don't know the humidity. I mean, I'm not trying to be insulting to Wisconsin, but it's just not the same. Like there are some days where it's like slightly uncomfortable, but I mean slight. I mean slight.
Well,
when you
what do they call humid? What's the percentage where they start calling it, oh, it's humid?
Well, that I don't remember. But I mean, it felt like a spring day, and you know,
minor.
Like, yeah, it was. You know, it would be just a little bit uncomfortable, but nothing to where like the air is like super thick. But
yeah.
I think because people are so used to the winters and the low humidity that when it becomes slightly humid, like people like get sweaty. You know what I mean? Like people are like struggling, but. And I think it's real, but I think if they went to like Missouri or North Carolina or California, it'd just be totally different, you know.
We start acting weird around 30%.
Yeah. Like I said, there were like 2 days of like 2 or 3, like a week maybe of humid weather. Like, but to me, it never felt uncomfortable. So I don't know.
Well, you're also used to it.
Yeah, I guess. Even but. Just living in other places, okay, so like I lived in North Carolina and Missouri, and when I lived in North Carolina, people would always say, I bet you've never experienced humidity like this. But the interesting thing was it is so humid in Missouri that people are always surprised how humid it is in Missouri. Like just like North Carolina. And I don't know if that's because you're like basically on the same latitude line. I don't know if that makes a difference. Like I've heard people say that before, but I don't really know if that's what it means.
I'm just used to my 20% and below humidity.
Yeah.
We're very dry. We're dry.
When we went to Florida in July, though, it was super humid.
Oh, I bet that was humid for you.
Yeah, that was Linda's old stomping grounds. We were in the Keys. It was so crazy. Like,
wasn't it pretty though?
It was beautiful. You know, I could live there if there was like I didn't feel like there was a lot to do in the Keys though.
You were under the dome and it was air conditioned. You could live in the Keys.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like the Keys a lot. I just wonder, like, what is there to do in the Keys?
Just be there.
Be there, be happy.
Yeah, I get that.
We'll go down to Key West and be gay.
Yeah. I know, it would be, it was so funny too, because the guy I work with literally had just gone to. He was like in the Keys. Like we missed each other by like a day, so we could have seen each other. He was there for the Ernest Hemingway competition.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess I should take us off YouTube unless you guys want to say anything. We still have like a viewer in YouTube.
A viewer.
Oh, hi, viewer.
Hi, viewer.
Thanks for sticking around. That was very
Did
nice
any-
of you.
I know. Did anyone say anything on YouTube? I guess I should see that. Did we check the comments?
Yeah, these are great questions.
Are you being serious? Did someone really ask a question on YouTube?
A little bit. I'm being a little serious. I mean, you had a great question. Is there any questions?
Shut up. Okay, I'm looking on Google Plus to see. You know, I get more interaction when I post from my page and not.
What?
I get. Can you not hear me?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I heard something wrong. Could you say that again?
I said I get more interaction when
okay.
I post on my page.
Okay.
But I need to post from our channel 3000 page, but
yeah.
I don't get a lot of it. Yesterday or last week I accidentally posted from the public from my page, and I got like a lot of responses because it went to people's phones. Yeah, which I felt bad about. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna get us off YouTube, and then we can talk for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna go. So.
Okay.
Bye, YouTubers.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
You get fan